Guys, what's up? It is the Political Kid, and today we're going to be talking about what are the circumstances, what are the possible circumstances for the 2028 general election, and how that could change American history based on who wins. Also, if you guys don't know, if you've watched my latest posts on my community page, you've probably seen that I'm trying to get Monsieur Z to react to my videos. So, the next video that you do see of for him, maybe you could type in like a comment and like say, "Hey, watch the Political Kid," or collab with him, and then just it's just really interesting. And also, I like to expand my goals, I guess. So yeah. So you might think that 2028 could be like 2020 and how the Democrats changed the landscape and were able to take back the White House. Well, no, it's very complicated, considering a few things to consider. One, Republicans are very united into nominating JD Vance to run for 2028. The Democrats aren't having a good time uniting behind a candidate. And three, which is kind of overlooked a bit often, the people who are like never Trumpers who either stayed at home or voted for a third party would go for a Republican. So that would give Republicans more voters to go off of anyways. So we're gonna be talking about why this is and the way that Republicans and Democrats could win in 2028. Maybe it's 2028 and you're watching this and this is aged like milk, but for the majority of this month that Trump and Vance have been in office, I'm pretty it's kind of established that a lot of people are expecting Vance to run in the 2028 general election. I mean, not a lot of people are asking him directly about it. However, Republicans like former Senator Mitt Romney thinks that he'll be the next president, and since he's the vice president of Trump, there's going to be a lot of supporters of Trump who's going to support Vance. So that definitely gives the Vance ticket a very comfortable lead since they're united and Democrats aren't. But but what's the best scenario for Democrats and Republicans for the unification for the Republicans? Well, the best scenario for the Republicans is that they keep the policies in place and unite the different parts of the coalition between those who are who support Republican policies but are a bit opposed on Trump, and those who support Republican policies but support Trump. So that's an issue between those who don't support Trump and those who do. And Vance could bring those sides together, I feel like, and especially with a more libertarian vice president for running mates. That could really help with like third parties trying to grasp at the Republican ticket and kind of, putting them down and saying, hey, we're the Republicans and we're going to win this. The best scenario for the Democrats, people like Vivek Ramaswamy, Glenn Youngkin, RFK Jr., they run and try to get a grassroots movement and kind of divide the Republican Party. And that's great for Democrats. And like each scenario is very different considering that Republican voters were very unified but of having Trump on the ticket. Like in Iowa, Trump received 51 in the Iowa caucus, Trump received 51% of the vote and the other candidates got less than 50%. So it kind of shows you how unified the Republican Party was during the nomination process, and they could be even more unified in the 2028 nomination process, but it really just depends on how the Trump administration goes and what the Democrats do. And we're going to be talking about the Democrats now. There's a lot of division within the Democratic Party, and Though you might think that there's even more division, there's basically just three camps of the Democratic Party. Liberals who go with AOC or Gavin Newsom. However, I feel like that is the worst scenario for Democrats, considering that Gavin Newsom is a pretty unpopular person. I mean, politician, as the governor of California while the LA fires are going on. Uh, AOC would be in like would bring a lot of Bernie Sanders populists back to the Democratic Party, but would scare a lot of moderates. So it would just depend on how she would run her campaign. But the second option for Democrats is if they go with Kamala Harris again. This is only a little bit better than having Gavin Newsom as their nominee, considering that she just lost, and I feel that Democrats and people who support her aren't realizing why she lost. It's because she ran a pretty negative campaign and wasn't really. The campaign wasn't about hope. I mean, it was about hope. However, it was going against a lot of the voter base, and Trump's campaign was like, we're all Americans and I'll protect you, and that's one of the biggest reasons why she lost is because she had a negative campaign versus Trump's "we're all together" campaign. And a lot of Democrats don't realize this, and this is the worst option for them, considering that it might be a similar campaign to that to the campaign in 2024. And what is considering to me the best option for the Democrats? I don't know, this might age like milk, but Josh Shapiro. He's Jewish, so he could get a lot of support from minority groups. Two, he's a governor and has lots of experience. Three, he's moderate and could appeal to a lot of working class voters. And four, he's the governor of Pennsylvania, which helps in the most important swing state in the election. So I think that's the best option for the Democrats. So we're going to be talking about the best scenario for Republicans, the best scenario for Democrats. Best scenario for Democrats, they choose Josh Shapiro. There's a limited contention within the nomination. However, Josh Shapiro has a good primary process and is able to get through the nomination with a liberal as his VP to balance out the ticket. For Republicans, the best scenario for Republicans is that Gavin Newsom's nominated with someone unexperienced, someone like an unexperienced moderate. So that's the worst scenario for Democrats. And I feel like either scenario could happen because, I mean, Democrats don't really realize how important the 2028 election is for them, considering that if they don't win this election, their Republicans would be in office for 12 out of the 16 years from 2017 to 2033, so it's really important for them, and they need to get unified if they want to win in 2028. Last thing we're going to be talking about is the Never Trumper Republicans. Now, this really favors the Republicans since, I mean, there's definitely going to be a lot of voters who are going to turn out since Vance is not Trump. However, there still is a bad scenario for the Republicans, considering that, like, what if Trump campaigns more for Vance, and Vance could seem like another Trump term, and want to seem different, and Never Trumpers would vote less. That's the best scenario for Democrats. Best scenario for Republicans, they're able to grind out all that support. So even if they do fail a little bit with moderates, they're able to get a lot of voter base going, and they're able to get a very conservative movement the old Republican style of those of George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, those types of conservatives to go out to the polls and vote for them, which is a huge voter base and could definitely inspire a lot of younger conservatives who don't really like Trump but support the fiscal policies who voted for Trump in 2024. So that's the scenarios, the best and worst case for each parties. And I hope you all have a good day, and I hope you are able to get Monsieur Z to vote for us to react to me.